Hey guys, so I finally got myself the EX plus one Neovision Savior Lightning. So we're going to use her on some fights. We're going to start with the Bahamut trial, and this time we're going to use, I've been getting some comments on what if I don't have like Faisy. We're going to do a 15 turn clear on the Heavenly Flames Elite version with a EX0 Charlotte tanking. So this is going to be a little bit more accessible. We're also not using any tag units whatsoever. We're going to be doing it with the New Year mage Shui as our DPS, and I'm gonna be showing like some of the benefits of lightning, which is her spirit break, which is a really big deal. And by using her spirit break, we can just kill Bahamut through his gauge in 15 turns with the mage because her 90% spirit break is that powerful. She'll also be doing some gauge breaking and all that. So here's the team. It's not really like a budget runner or anything. It's just not using Faisy or tag chainers, but it is still pretty strong gear. So we're going to be using Charlotte in party slot 1. This is kind of important the way the party is set up. She needs to be ahead of Lightning in the party, not passive provoking, and we want her to have at least 270 fire and 270 water resist. We're going to be using some buffs for that as well. So fire and water is the only important ones. A little bit of holy resist does help. It's optional though, and she needs her TMR equipped or STMR, so she has guts. We're not really worried about bulk. She's gonna die to all the real damage she takes, but we're gonna immune the fire and water damage. You do want to gear her in some physical mitigation if possible. So some some defense, some hit points, because she is tanking the turn 1 attacks. Eurisha is going to be for Beast Killer, Dragon Killer, mitigation, stat buffing, etc., the usual stuff. She is also on Carbuncle for Bar Farega for an 80% fire resist buff. And that's pretty much it. So we just geared her in decent spirit. The whole team is immune to confusion. That is important as well. Just, some spirit on her. And then Realm is going to be for Rod and Peril. Other than that, she's not doing a whole lot. She's just going to be Rod and Periling. She's on Leviathan, though. This is important. Leviathan for Bar Wardiga. So she'll be doing LB Fill and Rod and Peril. And that's mostly it. One sec. Change one thing on my list. There we go. And then Savior Sword's Lightning. And the base form is dual-wielding swords. And we've given her some decent bulk. She'll be tanking the physical hits later in the fight. Not on turn 1, but later in the fight. She'll be taking some of the physical. So we gave her the Mogul Charm as well. We want her to have 50% or better passive provoke, so she can out-provoke Charlotte later in the fight. So there we go. So she's got her set up. Let's look at one thing real quick. Yes. Yes, good. Yes. And we gave her the Dragon's Brush as well as the Call of the Wild, so she can auto-fill her LB, and we gave her some defense cards, and we've got 12 auto limit per turn. Well, quite a bit. And then the shift form is dual-wielding rods, because she's going to be breaking the gauge. Again, the paintbrush, Call of the Wild, 12 auto limit or better, some little bit of fill rate. Kind of went overboard on auto limit, but that's fine. And we want her to be at 275 or better dark resist, because we're going to tank some dark attacks later in the fight, potentially. And immune to confusion, that's important as well. And then Shuyi's our DPS. We are going to be chaining with water, and that's pretty much it. A lot of Dragon Killer, double hand using a rod, and we've got maxed out Dragon Killer, a 50 Beast Killer, and immune to confusion. And the friend we're taking is Rand, who is built very similar. There we go, double hand, some killers. He does have the indestructible light, which is real nice. I don't have that. 270 Dragon, and then 70 Beast. Alright, so I have planned out my turns very specifically to break the gauge on an exact turn to let Charlotte tank this easier. So if you're copying my strategy, I'll post a guide, a text or a picture guide of the turn-by-turn actions. Because, yeah, my actions are planned out very specifically. So let's see here. So we're going to start off with Realm, just doing Combat Paint and Masterpiece Sketch. We're going to shift Savior Lightning, who is going to do her cooldown break, Disaster, and then break the gauge twice with Rod break. Shuyi's, now we're not going to use the cooldowns. I'm going to save them for later. I'm going to be just doing her Amplify, which is Lotus Retribution, and then we're going to just double cast Merciless Waterfall. We don't want to use the cooldown yet. So Retribution and then double Waterfall. Let's see. We're going to shift Erisha on turn 1. We're going to do General Mitigation as well as, let's see. General Mitigation as well as her Magnus, her Hybrid Cooldown. That's a physical mitigation. Charlotte is going to re-raise cover, which is Fighting Spirit, or Knight's Voice. We need to use the other one. We're going to Knight's Voice, and we're going to do Knight's Command for a defense buff. In 1 second. I'm adjusting my chart for people to watch later. And we're going to go ahead and chain. So yeah, I'm saving the cooldown so it lines up better for bursting later in the fight. Which is why I'm not using the double cast and all. Alright, so Lightning's LB is good to go. And here's the physical attacks. Yeah, we got a lot of mitigation up, we're fine. Alright, let's go ahead and use Save Your Lightning Shifted LB to do a 90% Spirit Break. We're going to just chain 3 times. We're not going to use the cooldown yet. We're not going to use any cooldowns yet. We're saving them for later. Let's see. Realm has nothing to do, really. So we're going to shift Erisha back. We're going to do Dragon Killer and Beast Killer. We're going to do Dragon Stratagem and Anti-Beast on the Friend, because it's geared better. Charlotte is going to just re-raise herself and put up cover. She's going to die here, but that's okay. Realm. Let's go ahead and do our damage first. And then Realm will just double cast Fill, because we don't really have anything else to do with her. And damage seems low. It'll pick up a little bit later. Alright, so we're gonna lose Charlotte big time, twice. That's okay. If you have Faisy, she wouldn't die there, but we're using Charlotte, so it happens. Alright, so Erisha is now going to raise up Charlotte. And then we're going to do Beast Killer on my Shui. Lightning is going to shift back to the base form, and we're going to use Sword Break 3 times with Beatdown. Let's see, Realm on this turn is going to Rod in Peril now. So we're going to Rod in Peril and just fill LB. And now we're going to use, on turn 3, we're going to use Blooming and then Chain twice. We'll start preparing for a little bit more damage now. And the reason I'm doing it on that turn is because we're going to break the gauge on turn 10, which is going to allow Charlotte to survive that really dangerous turns 9, 10, 11 little sequence, which is really hard to survive for a weak tank like Charlotte. Alright, so let's see, it's turn 4. We're going to just re-raise and cover on Charlotte. With, let's see, cover and just re-raise with the Knight's Voice. Lightning is going to, let's see, we're going to mitigate with Fatal Sweep and then break the gauge twice. That mitigation is for later. She's going to be provoking. It's a 5-turn, 75% mitigation. Shui is going to quad Merciless. We're going to use Erisha to refresh Dragon Killer and a 4-element barrier, which is what I call the stat buff, because it's a stat buff. And let's do some damage here. Lightning's 90% Spirit Break is still up, so we're doing respectable damage, even though the gauge is not broken yet. Realm has nothing to do, so she can just triple cast Masterpiece Sketch. You know, whatever. She's dealing a lot of damage to herself, but these Shuis are healing her up. So here's the Mega Flare. Probably going to lose Charlotte. Yep, comes back. Not a problem. Alright, we need Charlotte to survive the first fire hit here. So we're going to just provoke and cover again. Now we're going to use Realm to... we're going to use Erisha to bar Farega from Carbuncle this turn. Bar Farega. Lightning needs to go back to the shift form and use her limit again to refresh the 90% spirit break. We can do that big boy damage. And yeah, Realm has nothing to do. So we're just going to quad cast Chain again. Okay, and Realm will fill gauge. Yeah, like I mentioned, I very specifically calculated when the gauge is going to break. So this is all very much planned specifically. So we're going to do that. She's going to die to the second one, come back. Perfect. This is why we needed fire resist on her. Now we need water resist. So we're going to use Realm to bar Wardiga to survive the first hit. Charlotte will just re-raise and cover. Eurisha will Beast Killer. Let's see, we will Beast Killer both the DPS. Hunter Stratagem on both the mages. Lightning is going to just break the gauge 3 times. Yes, break the gauge 3 times with Ruin. Alright, and Shui is going to quadruple. We're going to refresh the Amplify and then triple cast Merciless Waterfall. So refresh the Amplify and triple cast Waterfall. Deal some respectable damage here. Alright, we're going to lose Charlotte again. It's okay. Now, if you have Faisy, you can drop the whole Charlotte re-raise gimmick and just straight up tank all this with Faisy. But my EX0 Charlotte was a little on the weaker side. Ooh, Charlotte, goodbye. It's not a problem. So what are we on, turn 7? Turn 7, Charlotte is going to, again, just cover and re-raise herself. We're going to use Eurisha to do a 4-element barrier stat buff, as well as a anti-dragon stratagem. Okay, so this turn, Savior Lightning is going to... Now, Savior Lightning is behind Charlotte. We're going to provoke with Savior Lightning in the shift form. We're going to use her Disaster cooldown break. We're going to use her Null All Guard to provoke. And we're going to break the gauge with Ruin. So what's going to happen here is Charlotte is going to get hit with some holy attacks that are going to eventually kill her. And then make her guts and come back. And then the follow-up dark attacks will hit our Lightning, who is now immune to dark. With the buffs we've done. Realm is not doing anything. We are just going to quad cast Chaining with our DPS. Make sure you don't just reload, because we did Amplify last turn, which we don't want to do this turn. We want to quad cast Chains. And then Realm can just fill everything. The Rod and Power was worn off, so the damage has gone down a bit. It'll go back up again soon. Okay, and Realm can just fill Masterpiece twice, whatever. Keep mana up. Alright, so some single target attacks. She might survive some of them. She survived all 4 and came back. Well, that works too. Sure, whatever. Alright, turn 8. We are going to... At this point, Charlotte is going to cover, and we're going to use cooldown mitigation. We need her to survive. Let's see. We need her to survive the Giga Flare next turn, which is kind of painful. So Eurisha is going to put up general mitigation, as well as a Beast Killer on the friend. We're going to just Elixir our Charlotte here. We actually don't even need to, I don't think. I don't think we're going to need to. We're going to LB with her. Just for the... Is there a no item mission? No more than 5 items. We're going to go ahead and Elixir just for the safety, to make sure she gets healed up. Alright, and then Shui is going to use her cooldown, which we broke the list. Alright, we're going to use Blooming Arts, and then we're going to Merciless Waterfall twice. And we're going to get ready to break that gauge really soon. So Blooming Arts and Merciless Waterfall twice. So turn 8, we Elixir the tank. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Charlotte was going to need healing in this turn or not, but she kind of did. Okay, so Mega Flare next turn. Or Giga Flare next turn. Alright, turn 9. Charlotte needs to survive here, so Charlotte, please. Alright, so we're going to do Eurytia with a stat buff. I did general mitigation, right? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. So Eurytia, stat buff with 4 element. And then Beast Killer on mine. This is when we do Rod in Peril. So Rem is going to Rod in Peril. And then just whatever, Masterpiece and Rod in Peril. And then Lightning is going to shift to the base form. And we're going to triple. We're going to do Mitigation for herself. We're going to Provoke again. And we're going to break the gauge with Sword Break. Alright, and then the Shuis are going to refresh the Amplify. And start getting ready for some damage. Because next turn we're breaking that gauge. And we're going to do a lot of damage when that gauge goes down. Alright, so we're hoping Charlotte survives here. I think she probably will. Oh no, Charlotte. Oh no. That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, well, we're gonna have to change the plan a little bit. Oh, Charlotte, why? Alright, Charlotte's got to get back alive. So we have to raise Charlotte. Turn of 10, and then do... Ooh, can she raise with... she raise in this form? She can't. Okay, this turn, Realm is going to raise Charlotte because big ouch with an item. That was turn 10. Raise Tank because Tank got killed. Alright, Eurytia is in the shift form. Oh, come on, this glitch. Eurytia in the shift form is going to heal with Revitalizing and do the other hybrid interference thingy, whatever. Charlotte was supposed to cover this turn. We're probably going to be okay. Probably going to be okay. Let's see, turn 10. We're going to just break the gauge 3 times with Lightning. Yeah, we're going a little bit off the rails here because Charlotte died. Charlotte is not the best tank, but this mine's EX0 as well. Turn 10. Yeah, now we're just quad casting. The gauge is broken, so the boss's damage is going to be like ridiculously low, and we're also provoking with Savior Lightning anyway. So Savior Lightning is in the base form going to be tanking the single target physical hits on this turn. Alright, limit or get raised. Yeah, the boss does like no damage here. Guard or limit. Alright, here we go. So we were supposed to guard this turn for the Atomic Ray, but the boss is broken. I think it's going to be fine. We're just going to LB instead. We need, that's for the general mitigation. We need Dragon Killer and stats with Eurytia. Let's go back to the base form. Alright, Dragon Killer and stats with 4 element from Eurytia. What are we doing on turn 11? We are also doing a limit with Lightning in the shift form. So go to the shift form, get that nice 90% spirit breakup. What else are we doing? Chaining, just chaining. Yeah. Do some chaining damage right here. Rod and Peril still up, the gauge is down, so this should be respectable damage. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Oh, we're gonna win next turn. We are. And then Realm can just triple cast Masterpiece for the mana regen. And the LB fill. Alright, so turn 12 clear. Little bit dicey with my EX0 Charlotte. She did not take that Giga Flare very well. And if I had known we were going to win so soon, I would have broken the gauge earlier. I actually could have broken the gauge earlier, but I kind of adjusted my actions to break it so that she could tank that Atomic Ray and not die. But we could have won last turn, I think. So it's turn 12. Do we need anything? We need to break the boss. We need to, okay, if we don't win here, you would Disaster to break the boss's stats. We don't need anything else. We would do Water Resist with Leviathan so that Charlotte could dual cast Cover and Re-Raise. Because she's gonna immune the first attack and Re-Raise to the second. Eurisha does Beast Killer this turn on both the DPS. So we Hunters both of them. And chain times 4. But we, of course, won 1 at this point. So all missions, we did 2 items out of the 5 allowed. 12 turns. So there is the power of 90% Spirit Break on Lightning, on a boss with no stat passives. We did the majority of that through the gauge. When the gauge went down, we put up all our cooldowns and all, and did some, like, you know, quote-unquote bursting. Shui doesn't really have burst. She's just a chain every turn mage, but I mean, she's a good mage. I'm kind of glad I pulled for her. She works out well. So there's the all mission clear on Bahamut with no taggers and no Faisy. A little dangerous on turns 9, 10, and 11, but we made it work. All right, see you guys next time.